You sound awfully sure of yourself, Mother. How can you know for a fact that Teresa is out of Ethan's life?
I have my ways. But you should know that by now. If I were you, I'd start thinking about a whole new wedding gown. You know, a Christmas wedding could be quite charming.
Aren't you jumping the gun just a bit?
Not at all. Well, you will soon be Mrs. Ethan Crane. Teresa will soon be a distant memory.
You haven't seen Ivy, have you, Janet?
No, not since Chief Bennett took off.
Well, I think she went upstairs. If you excuse me, I think I need some fresh air.
Of course.
Because...
Go on. Go after him. He might need you.
No, what he needs is some time alone right now.
Nonsense. You wouldn't be in this mess if you hadn't given him so much time alone. Go on. Why don't you go for a nice romantic stroll in the garden?
All in all, I'd say it's been quite a good day.
You know, not too many men would say that about the day that they buried their sister.
Well, not many men are savvy enough to, take advantage of a family tragedy. Sheridan's will was more than I ever could, thank you, hoped for. Oh, so touching.
It was perfect, wasn't it? I mean, the way she left an inheritance to Ethan and Gwen's offspring. If I didn't know better, I'd think you wrote your sister's will yourself.
Well, would that I had. I certainly would have done away with that ludicrous provision for a camp for needy children. Talk about a waste of good money, and to have it headed by Ivy and Sam Bennett. But, well, one mustn't dwell on the negatives on such an auspicious occasion.
I have even more good news.
Might it have something to do with your conversation with Teresa's brother?
Yes, I told Luis all about Ethan and Teresa.
Oh, excellent.
He was even more shocked than I could have hoped. In fact, if we lived on the wrong side of the tracks, I think we'd be hearing an explosion right about now from the Lopez Fitzgerald household.
Oh, Luis was that angry.
Oh, he was purple with rage. Trust me, Ethan will never see Teresa again. Please.
Teresa, don't. You're gonna make it worse.
Worse? Worse than my sister being involved with Ethan Crane? I've been telling you to stay away from that loser for as long as I can remember.
Please, he is not a loser.
How long have you been sneaking around behind my back? How long have you been lying to my face?
It's not like that.
And tell me it's not true. Tell me the person who told me about you and Ethan is a liar. Because I was sure as hell rather believe you. Tell me, Teresa. Damn it, tell me!
It's true. Please, it's true.
You won't be needing this anymore, as your FBI friend is here. Your ruse was very inventive, but we were never fooled into believing that Sheridan Crane was truly dead. Now, thanks to you, she will be. Quelle ironie.
You can't let her die this way. Could you even be so cruel? I wonder what she is thinking at this very moment, in her casket 6 feet underground. Of course, she does not know that no one is to come dig her up. Perhaps she still clings to hope.
But how long can that last?
Wait, sooner or later she will realize that no one is going to save her after all.
What a frightening way to die. Trapped underground, in your own coffin, with no way out. Just because the only people who know the plan are otherwise engaged.
Come on!
For you. You said you'd get me out of here before I woke up. Oh God, the walls are closing in on me. Please. Somebody get me out of here.
Breathe in, breathe out. You can
alive. I love you, Louise.
No. No. You see, that's the thing that's killing me. You couldn't possibly. If you did, you would have never gotten involved with Ethan Cray. Not after all the times that I warned you to stay away from him.
But you didn't know him, and you still don't.
All right. I'll tell you what. Even if you're right, even if I have Ethan pegged all wrong and he turns out to be some sort of saint, it wouldn't make things any better. You see? After Papa disappeared, and then Antonio, I knew that I had to be the man in the family because Mama worked so hard. You guys, you were just practically babies. I don't know. Maybe I took my role too seriously. I was just kidding myself to think that you looked up to me or listened to my advice.
That's not true.
No.
We all looked up to you. We
no,
still
Teresa,
do.
not you. Or else we wouldn't be having this conversation we're having right now. What was it? Was I too rough on you? Did I expect too much? All I wanted was to teach you right from wrong. Is to teach you to love yourself enough that you didn't need anyone else to make you feel whole. All I wanted was what was best for you. I thought you understood. I thought we were close.
We are.
No, Teresa, all right? No more lies. I've had enough lies. I asked you one thing, all right? I asked you one thing, to stay away from one guy in the whole wide world, and you became his mistress.
No, Louise, it's not like that. Ethan and I have only been on one date ever to the arcade on the boardwalk.
Is that right?
That is the only real date we have ever had.
Right back.
Wasn't supposed to be like this. I wanted to sit him down with that special dinner and tell him about Ethan. I mean, tell him in my own words and make him understand. Why didn't it come out this way? Who could have told him?
Mind as devious as my own. A will as strong as steel to go with it, and light as a feather in my arms. Oh, your assets know no bounds, Rebecca.
And you don't even know them all.
Would that I did. But there'll be ample opportunity to spend time together now that Ethan and Gwen will be married after all.
Yes, I think my little talk with Officer Lopez Fitzgerald was the coup de grace. Ethan will never see Teresa again.
Tell me again how he exploded into that Irish Latino rage.
Well, I did embellish things a little bit for maximum effect. I made it seem they were just a tad more intimately involved than they are.
Ooh, I would have done the same thing.
And when Luis found out that Teresa was the reason that Ethan called off his wedding to Gwen...
Ay caramba, huh?
Yes, to think that his sweet, innocent little sister could lose her innocence to a big, bad, arrogant crane. Well, you can imagine the fireworks.
How to teach the Lopez Fitzgeralds to stop trying to crawl out of the gutter up into the Crane mansion. And your timing was impeccable.
Thank you.
Yes. Luis was already beside himself over Sheridan's death. Now, this news about Teresa and Ethan will send him right over the edge. And then you and I can move forward on Ethan and Gwen's wedding.
I wouldn't call the caterers just yet if I were you. I told you both. I will not stand for anyone manipulating my son's happiness.
Our son. You seem to be forgetting that. And you know as well as we do that Ethan will be happier married to Gwen than Pilar's mongrel daughter.
It doesn't matter what I think. It's Ethan's decision to make, not yours, and not Rebecca's, and not mine. I will not have Ethan locked in some loveless marriage like ours, Julian. Just because the two of you happen to be hot to consummate some strategic business arrangement, that is the only merger you want to consummate, isn't it? And I told you, Rebecca, I will not stand for anyone meddling in Ethan's life, and I meant it.
Where do you think you're going?
To tell Ethan what Rebecca's done. This nasty little plan you've cooked up, it's going to blow up in your face. Ethan! Oh my God, our tennis date.
Stood up again.
So where were you?
Believe it or not, lawyer's office.
Hello? What am I, chopped liver? You know, I did pass the bar exam in case you forgot.
You know that it's not recommended to have a relative draw up your will.
Don't you think you're a little young to be thinking about your demise?
Maybe. Maybe not. Sometimes I don't think that I'm gonna live all that long.
Sheridan, I love you, but you're a nutcase, you know that? You're gonna live a long and happy life watching Gwen's and my children marry and have children of their own, and they're gonna play side by side your grandkids.
If you say so.
I do say so. Besides, you can't go anywhere. You'd be lost without you.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. You have Gwen. I'm so lucky to have found your soulmate.
It's gonna happen to you too, Sheridan.
From your lips to God's ears.
Hey, he could be right here in Harmony. Maybe you've already met him.
The only man I've met since I came back home from Paris is that arrogant cop, Louis something or other. Somehow I don't think he and I are meant to be.
Probably not. But I promise you're gonna meet the man you deserve.
All I know is that seeing you and Gwen so happy together after all these years just gives me hope that true love does exist.
I miss you so much, Sheridan. And I promise I'm gonna find the bastard who took you away from me.
Do not try that again, or you will regret it.
You know, there's nothing you could do that would make me feel worse than I already do. Sheridan is buried alive. How can you live with yourselves?
I believe that's a question for you and your compatriot from the government agency. You came up with this brilliant scheme to make her appear dead, no? So if anyone is to blame right now for our situation, it's you.
That's right, this is all my fault. My back's against the wall here. These guys will not let up until I pull the trigger and Sheridan's dead. You've got to help me.
All right. What's your idea?
Well, it's pretty drastic, but I think it could work. What we do is we convince these French goons that I've done exactly what they wanted. Shot Sheridan right before their eyes.
I don't understand.
Sheridan dies from her gunshot wounds, with Pierre himself as a witness.
Only she's not really dead because you don't shoot her with real bullets.
Exactly. It's a little complicated, but I think it could work with your cooperation.
How many people would know she's really alive? Luis?
No. No, I wish I could tell him, but I think that would be a mistake, because they're going to be watching him too closely. I think that his grief needs to be real in order to be convincing.
How far do you plan to take this charade?
Well, hopefully no further than the funeral service. You know, but if we have to all the way through the burial, she'll only be underground for a couple hours, you know? We'll make sure that she has plenty of light and air, and, you know, once Roger and Pierre buy that she's dead, they let down their guard, and you've got them. Then we get Sheridan out of the ground with oxygen to spare, and she goes on with her life. To save her. Now I'm as good as killed her myself.
Somebody! use. I'm gonna run out of hair. Please. Somebody help me!
I was so sure they bought it. Everything was going like clockwork, and now because of me, Sheridan's gonna...
Hank, don't do this to yourself. Remember why you came up with this plan in the first place? To save her? Because you knew that these psychopaths wouldn't give up until she was dead. They would have killed her anyway.
Your friend is correct. We couldn't have allowed her to live when her existence was a threat to our livelihood.
You run drugs. Sheridan's a decent human being who never hurt anyone.
Haven't you learned that life is not always fair? It's merely a series of accidents, some fortuitous, some less so. Personally, I've always felt it was a pity that Miss Crane was the individual who could tie us to the two murders and the drug cartel. But what can one do?
You're not even human. Here we have been admiring the creativity of your plan, and you insult us.
We have to tell Luis.
No, I'm sorry, Sheridan. We can't. Okay? We need all of his reactions to be real, pure, 100% convincing.
But he'll be shocked by my death. I don't even know what he'll do.
He'll act exactly the way we need him to. Numb, grief-stricken. I mean, like his heart's been broken in two. I know this is a lot to ask, okay? But this is the only thing I can think of to get these guys off your back once and for all. This is to save your life.
What if something goes wrong? If Luis is in on it, then he can come for me.
Nothing is gonna go wrong, trust me. I'm so sorry, Sheridan. So sorry.
One date with Ethan. The arcade down at the boardwalk. Isn't that what you said?
Yes.
So what'd you wear? If it was any of these, you must have been way overdressed. Did you wear any of these?
No.
So where have you worn these designer dresses from Bermuda? You know, when I asked you about him, you said they were hand-me-downs from the Crane daughters. But that's not true, is it?
No.
Ethan bought them for you. He flew down to Bermuda on his private jet. Isn't that right?
Yes, Luis, but it's not what you're implying.
Teresa, there is only one reason that a guy flies a girl who isn't his fiancée down to an island resort and buys her expensive clothes. So what does that make you? Let's see, his mistress? His girl on the side? There are other names for girls who sleep with guys for presents, but I'm not even gonna say them.
Luis, I am not any of those names. The trip to Bermuda was innocent, and so is my relationship with Ethan. We have never slept together, I swear to you.
I don't know how badly I want to believe that.
Not so fast, Ivy. It seems you're the one who's jumping the gun now.
Well, you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Because I'm curious to see just how far you'll go to get what you want. Why shouldn't I tell Ethan about your little chat with Luis?
Because if you do, I'll tell everyone we know all about you.
Excuse me? Oh, come on, Ivy.
We all know you have some dirty little secret that you'll do anything to keep under wraps.
You know nothing, Rebecca.
Now who's bluffing? And if you don't want your, dirty laundry all over the front page of every tabloid in the country, I suggest you rethink what you say to Ethan.
You both disgust me.
You know Ivy's secret?
Of course not. But she's not so sure I don't know anymore. And I don't think we have anything to worry about as far as she's concerned.
You are a hell of a woman, Rebecca.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Ooh, would that I had.
You know, I just had the most wonderful fantasy.
Oh, do tell.
Well, that this little secret of Ivy's could be so damaging that your marriage would be over. Well, then you'd be free.
So I would. But you're already taken.
Oh, if you're referring to, Jonathan, I would leave him in a minute for a real man. I don't mean to intrude. I was just worried about you.
No, it's okay. Sit down. I was just thinking about Sheridan's will. What an amazing thing for her to leave her money to our unborn children.
Not that we'll ever have any now. Sheridan had no way of knowing what would happen. When she made out her will, she just assumed that we'd be getting married and starting a family.
So did I.
Listen, I know you're trying to come to a decision between me and Teresa, but if I could just put a word in for myself, out of my love for you.
Gwen, go ahead.
Sheridan knew that we were meant for one another, Ethan. We always have been. And if my dream comes true and you propose to me, I'll accept on the spot. You have my word that I will put all of this behind us. No blame, no recriminations. I'll just pretend like it never happened. I still wear my ring. I've never taken it off because in my heart, I still know that we're going to be married.
Gwen, look, I don't want to keep you and Teresa in limbo any longer. I really want to make a decision.
Does that mean you made up your mind?
My whole life, I trusted you. You told me that these clothes were hand-me-downs, and I believed you. I had no reason not to. You know, you're my sister. I never dreamed that you would lie to me.
Luis.
Now, don't say a word. There's that new laptop you've been carrying around. Now, I asked you where you got it. Well, you never gave me a straight answer. Who gave it to you?
The Cranes.
Is that one of the perks of being Ivy Crane's personal assistant? Yeah. That's right. I heard all about it. You took a job for the family who gets its kicks out of stabbing each other in the back. Didn't you ever stop to think about what that would do to your own family?
No, Luis, I never meant...
Then there were those times. Those times I saw you at the Crane Mansion. You told me you were there to see Mama. You even gave me some garbage about a rich new boyfriend you had. Only I never got his name. It was Ethan all along, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yes.
My God, Teresa. It's been one lie after another. How could you? How could you do this to us?
Because I love him, Luis. I can't help it. I love Ethan with all of my heart.
No. No, you don't.
I've got a proposition for you.
Jin, you're hardly in a position to make a deal. Besides, we already have everything we need. Oh, we will. When the oxygen in Sheridan's coffin runs out. If it hasn't already.
No, you're wrong. There is something I can do for you. Look, I know your drug operation covers most of Europe, right? But think about how much money you could make if you expanded to the United States.
You mean you would run drugs for us in exchange for our digging Sheridan out of her grave?
Yeah, and you guys wouldn't have to do it yourselves. Just let me call Louise and tell them where she is. There may still be time to get her out alive. Please. I'll do whatever you want. Please, just don't let Sheridan die down there.
You've got to get a grip. You'll only make things worse if you panic. Maybe someone's up there. They're starting to dig me out, and I'll be out of here in 2 minutes. Oh, am I kidding? Why did Hank say that he would be here and not come? Oh, God, something must have happened. Something must have gone wrong. If they don't come for me, I really will die. Please, somebody help me.
Sheridan knew me so well, and better than anyone else in the family. But listening to her wishes during the reading of the will, it's like she was talking from the grave. And I was just thinking about conversations that we've had over the years about relationships and love. I want to make a decision, Gwen. I'm going to make one soon. I promise.
Don't you understand why I'm upset? I'm upset because I love you, because I've worked so hard at keeping you from making a mistake that's going to cost you a lifetime of happiness.
Please, don't say that. I know this has come at a terrible time. I know that you're still grieving for Sheridan.
You have no idea how it felt. I felt to stand there and watch him shovel dirt onto her grave. You have no idea.
Sorry. Who told you about Ethan and me? I need to know who told you.
Difference does it make? You're the one who brought him into our lives, into our home, the one place I felt safe from the damn Cranes. How many times was he here when I was at work? How many times has he been in your bedroom?
Once or twice, but not for the reason that you think.
Oh. So you're only in his bed at the mansion?
No! Louise, I never did that. I've never been to bed with Ethan anywhere.
So you can stand here and say that you have never once been in Ethan Crane's bed?
It is over. In just a short while, a boat will be coming to pick up you and your FBI friend.
What? I don't
Yeah,
get it.
you're going on a little cruise. Far out to sea where you will be set free to, how do they say in the gangster movies? To swim with the fishies.
Look, if you're gonna kill us, why don't you just get it over with right here?
No, our way is much better. Once the sharks finish dining on the two of you, there will be no way to trace the murders back to us. You, Mr. FBI, and Sheridan will be dead. Pierre and I will be back in Paris. So, as I said, life is but a series of accidents. Some fortuitous, some less so. Your deal, no? I'm going to call and check on the boat.
While we have a minute, perhaps you two can explain one or two things I have not been able to figure out. For instance, why did Sheridan bleed when you only shot her with blanks instead of bullets? And what about her pulse? I have felt it for myself and it was not there.
These will mask your pulse rate and make it look like your heart stopped.
Those?
These are amazing little contraptions filled with blood. When I shoot at you, they'll explode and you'll look like you're bleeding from your wounds.
Okay.
I know you're nervous, Sheridan, okay? This is gonna be worth it, though. When we nab these guys that want you dead, in a couple days you'll be able to put this whole sorry mess behind you.
I trust you, Hank. I'll do whatever I have to.
Forget it.
We don't owe you a thing.
Suit yourself.
The boat should be here soon.
You can't do this, all right? Look, kill me, all right? Bury me alive if it makes you happy. But you can't do this to Sheridan. You can't let her die like this.
Have you, or have you not ever been in Ethan's bed?
I can't lie to you.
Oh, there's a new concept.
Luis. I've only been on his bed once, but only to massage his neck.
So it's true. I wanted to believe that at least that part was a lie.
Luis, I swear it's not what it sounds like. Nothing happened. You know me, Luis.
No, Teresa, I thought I did. I don't anymore.
He hates me.
Of course he doesn't hate you, Teresa. He's upset right now.
Why won't he believe me?
You have to look at it from his position, Teresa. You gotta realize how all of this sounds.
How did he hear about it in the first place? I mean, who would have told him? Gwen. It's gotta be Gwen and her mother. They're the ones who did this to me.
Sherry? I'm surprised you're not celebrating with the good bubbly after all your machinations to remove Teresa from Ethan's life.
You should be grateful to Julian and to me, I might add. Because of us, Ethan is going to marry Gwen, and you won't have to hide the silver every time your daughter-in-law comes over.
Well, I really hadn't lost any sleep over that possibility. All that matters is Ethan's happiness.
How'd things go with Ethan?
It was interesting. He was very affected by Sheridan's will.
Oh, I knew it.
They were so close, and the fact that she believed enough in our relationship to leave our children money, it made a big impression on him.
So when's the big day? Have you chosen a new date for the wedding?
No, we're not quite there yet.
Oh, well, don't you worry. Everything is going to work out. Nobody is going to marry Ethan but you.
Well, I hope you're right. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go freshen up.
Oh, of course.
It's true. Sheridan's will is the best thing that could have happened.
That and the fact that Luis is tearing into his little gold-digging sister right now, forbidding her to ever see Ethan again. Julian, we've done it.
Hear, hear. You know, when I heard that Ethan had called off his wedding to Gwen Hotchkiss for another woman, I never in my wildest dreams could have imagined that it was you. How could you go after a man who's engaged to another woman?
We fell in love.
No, he took advantage of you. He took advantage of you the way the Cranes take advantage of anyone they see as less or lower than they are. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Ethan had damn well better not show his face around you ever again. If he does, I'm going to rip him apart.
I'm sorry, Gwen, but I have to check on Teresa. She's going to tell Luis about the two of us tonight.
I thought she was waiting.
She changed her mind. She realized that the truth is bound to come out anyway, so she thought it'd be better for her to tell him herself.
Do you really think that's gonna make a difference?
I don't know. But I want to be there for moral support.
I'll walk you out. Did you hear that? Ethan is going over to Teresa's.
I didn't think life could get any better, did you, Beck?
Can you imagine Luis when he sees Ethan at the door?
There'll be more than pinatas exploding at the Lopez Fitzgerald home this evening.
After that, there'll be no chance for Ethan and Teresa. It'll be over.
You can't let Ethan walk into something like that. I've got a warning right now.
The hell you are!
Let go of me!
Not on your life.
Do you have any idea how much I loathe the two of you?
Oh dear, how will I ever sleep at night?
My poor Ethan. He has no idea what's in store for him.
A toast to our most unlikely helper. The man with a brilliant plan, who did all our dirty work for us. Sheridan has been in our underground coffin for quite some time now. You think she's gotten the hint that her trusted friend will never come? Do you think she has accepted the fact that she's going to die?
Something must have happened to Hank, or he would have been here by now. He knew how scared I was. Oh, dear God. Luis thinks I'm really dead. I'll never see him again. The light. What happened to the light? Oh, God.